Hey, how y'all doing?
That's how I feel every time I come back to making a video after I haven't made one in a month. Also, my nails aren't done, so don't look at them. Thinking of you, thinking of you. Hey guys, it's Sam, and today's video is me making up for being a shitty YouTuber. So basically, wait, should I angle you this way more so it's like a cuter background? Okay. So, basically, I've been a shitty YouTuber, and I know that. I haven't posted in forever. I suck at posting, but I decided to make up for it and post a video that I know you guys like. Today's video is me reacting to my friends' paranormal stories. I'm still gonna do the reacting to my subscribers' paranormal stories part 2, but I thought I would do this one first just to switch it up a little bit. Ever since I became like a paranormal YouTuber, like storytime person, you know, all my friends and people I come in contact with in real life are always telling me like their paranormal experiences. So I thought I would use these stories and tell them to you because some of the stories I've heard from my friends are literally so scary, like insane. So you're definitely gonna want to hear these. They're crazy. Before we get into the video, I just want to let you guys know to subscribe if you like these videos, and if you do, I have so many other haunted paranormal videos that you can watch during quarantine. I have a lot. I have a playlist of all my haunted videos, so you can catch up on those if you haven't watched them. Give this video a big thumbs up so I know that you like these kind of videos and want to see more, and turn on post notifications so you get notified every time I do post a video, which seems to be pretty random, so you might want to have those on so you're so you know when it's gonna happen. Is that all? Oh, you can follow my Instagram, which is right here. You can go check it out, and yeah, you can just do that if you want to. So let's get into story number 1. Story number 1 was told to me by my friend Amber. This story is really, really crazy. Both of them are pretty crazy. So the first one that she told me happened when she was in high school and her brother was in high school. They were in high school together for a little bit. He's older. So when she was an underclassman and he was an upperclassman, he would drive himself to school, but she said he never would drive her home from school. Like, he had a car, but he wouldn't drive her. It's just like a classic brother thing to do, I guess. So obviously she was getting home later than he was. So he, after school, decided to FaceTime his girlfriend at the time, and he was waiting for Amber to get home, and he hears the door open and he hears her walk in. So obviously the door opens, he assumes that it's his sister coming home from school. So he goes, "Hi, Amber." He says that him and his girlfriend, who was on FaceTime, said they heard Amber say, "Hi," like answer. So they didn't think about it, and they just like go back to talking and FaceTiming, whatever. And then, this is so scary, Amber walks in the door like 5 minutes later home from school, and she's like, "What's up?" And him and his girlfriend at the time were like, "We thought you came home like 5 minutes ago." And what's scary is not only did they hear a door like slam, like open and close, but they also heard her answer. Like that, and both of them did. Like, it's just a very scary story. But the next one she told me is actually even scarier. It's actually terrifying. Amber has on her stairs like pictures along their wall, you know, like going up the stairs, and there's just like random pictures of her and her brother going up the stairs. One night her brother is sleeping and he like wakes up from a night terror, so he's like really freaked out or whatever, and he decides to go downstairs. I don't know if he was getting a glass of water or what, but he just decided to go downstairs. And as he's walking down the stairs, his parents, Amber's parents, heard him scream. Like, he's like freaking out. They like jump up, they go like, "What's wrong?" And they look. All of the pictures on the wall that were only of him were on the floor. Like, they fell off the wall. And there was multiple pictures of Amber, there was multiple pictures of him, and only the ones of him fell off the wall. Like, at that point, it's like not anybody pranking him, because nobody knew he was gonna wake up from a night terror and go downstairs. Like, nobody can control that part. So I don't know, that's so scary. And the fact that he even was having a nightmare and woke up from it, and that was there, like, very, very unsettling. So thank you, Amber, for telling me those stories. They're very, very spooky. But on to person number 2 that told me their stories. Okay, so this story is, I know I said the last one was scary, but this one is probably the scariest story I've ever been told, only because the extent it all went. Let me explain. Okay, this story is from my friend Julia. She told me it recently. It's so crazy. So basically, a little bit ago, she lived in the house with her aunt and her dad, who lived together in the house they grew up in. Which, by the way, has had many haunted things happen. She said it's just like known for all the crazy stuff that's happened, and it's actually partially the reason she moved out of the house is because how many crazy things haunted wise would happen there, which that's crazy to me that like enough things are happening to push her out of the house. But anyways, so this is a random winter night, and her aunt decided that she wanted to order some food. So her aunt goes upstairs to where Julia's dad is sleeping and goes to ask him if he wants anything. So she opens the door and sees him laying there, and she's like, hey, I'm ordering some food, do you want anything? And she says she hears him like grunt, like no. So she takes it as a no and she goes back downstairs ordering the food, whatever. And then a couple minutes later, this is like Amber's story too, he walks in the door. She's like, someone's upstairs, like this isn't okay, like someone's upstairs right now in your bed, I swear, like I heard them, I talked to them, like this is not okay. So she calls the cops. And the cops are like, okay, wait down the street in your car. So that's what they do. Her, Julia, her aunt, her dad, they get in the car and they wait down the street, and the cops go in fully expecting an intruder. They have their guns out, like everything, the whole 9 yards, and they find absolutely nothing. There's nobody there. There's no like footsteps in the snow, which there would have been if someone was like breaking through a window or something. Absolutely no signs of an intruder or anything, and just nobody was there. That story, what is so scary about that story is the extent she went. Like, you don't call the cops if you weren't 100% of what you saw. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's just calling the cops because they think they saw a ghost. Like, that didn't even cross her mind that it was a ghost, like, or like something paranormal. She thought it was a person. That is so scary. So thank you, Julia, for telling me that story. Literally terrifying. So on to the next person that told me stories, which is my friend Nick. So he told me multiple. I can't remember some of them because he told me like last week when I was supposed to film this video, but I do remember one. So the story goes that this happened to his cousin. So his cousin, this happened to him when he was 6 years old. Now he's 30, so this happened a long time ago, but it's still scary nonetheless. So the story takes place at nighttime. So his cousin's like 6 years old, sleeping in his bed, and his dad goes to check on him, just to make sure he's good. So when he checks on him, all the blankets are a mess, pillows on the floor, you know, just the whole 9 yards. The bed's a mess because he's sleeping in it. Obviously the dad doesn't think anything of it, and he's like, okay, he's good, and then goes back to the bathroom where his wife is, and they are like brushing their teeth, you know, just getting ready for bed. So then, while his wife's still in the bathroom, he leaves the bathroom and decides to check one more time on him before bed. He opens the door, and this time, when he checks on him, the bed is perfectly made. What? Now, I know what you're thinking. Maybe he like fixed it up himself, the kid. But one, he's 6 years old, and Nick said even if he were to try and fix up his bed, a 6-year-old can't make his bed and tuck him in as perfectly as he was tucked in. He said it was perfect, like perfectly tucked in, the bed's perfectly made, everything's fine, and 5 minutes before, absolutely destroyed. And he was sound asleep. And again, I'll remind you, his mom was also in the bathroom still, so she didn't like leave the bathroom and go tuck him in again and then went back to bed. Like, she wasn't around him. That story is so creepy. So this next story was told to me by my friend Maddie. She said that her uncle, this is her uncle who passed away in 2011. So her uncle and her mom used to work in the same like building, but her mom worked in like the office part and her uncle worked in like the shop part. So Maddie, after her uncle already passed away, was going to visit her mom at the place they worked. And Maddie said that she swears she saw her uncle sitting on like a forklift. But of course she just thought it was like her imagination and her being like attached to him still, like, and just like didn't really think it was like anything like paranormal or anything. Until she goes home and sees that the hat that she has from her uncle was sitting on her bed. She said this happened multiple times. She would just go home and then randomly her uncle's hat would just be chilling on her bed, even though like she obviously didn't put it there. But the story doesn't stop there. She says that a couple months later, her mom just randomly says, you know what, like, you're never gonna guess what I saw. Like, this is gonna sound crazy, but I swear I saw Uncle, whatever his name was, sitting on the forklift. Okay, this is crazy because I don't know. I've never been there. She didn't describe it, but I assume in a shop there are many different tools and, like, what do you call those? Like what are those called? Like machines, you know what I mean? Like there's like a forklift, maybe like what a doom buggy? What are these called? You know what I mean, you guys. My dad literally does construction. I don't know the name of any of these things. There's like obviously like gonna be other tools and like machines and stuff, but the fact that they both saw him on the forklift is what's so weird to me. And not to mention the hat, like it's just all very weird. So thank you, Maddie, for telling me that story. It's definitely a good one. So now on to the last story that I'm gonna be telling you guys in this video. It was told by my friend Maya. I have more stories that my friends have told me. Oh my god, Charlie, you just scared the shit out of me because I'm telling a haunted thing. Okay, on to the last story. This story was told by my friend Maya. So, Maya told me the story that it takes place in her old house. So she doesn't live in this house anymore, but it's still creepy. So she said when she lived in this house, she used to move around her furniture a lot in her room. So one night she decided she was gonna move her bed to a wall that was on the same side as like her walk-in closet. So it was like her bed, and then like behind her bed was her walk-in closet, if that makes sense. So ever since she moved her bed to the side of the wall, she started hearing tapping on her headboard consistently throughout days, I guess. But the weird thing is it wouldn't happen every night. It would only happen randomly. Now why this is weird to me is because if it was something like, you know how like say it was somebody walking in the house that caused like the house to shake a little, so her headboard was like moving or something, and that was what the tapping was. But it wasn't every night. So she said she was scared about it. She wasn't like super freaked out, but like it definitely freaked her out. But it scared her enough to tell her mom. And so she told her mom about the tapping on her headboard. And her mom said that when she used to sleep in that room, the same thing happened to her. And she also said that the tapping would only happen at night, which again makes it even creepier. And she said multiple things would happen in this house all the time. Another experience she had was when she was sleeping in her room and she got woken up by somebody whispering in her ear the name Jack or Jock. She didn't know which one it was saying. It was in a really weird voice. She said she doesn't know if anybody's ever lived there in the house by the name Jack or whatever, but she said that's what she heard. And she also said that her and her friends would even randomly hear voices in the house to the point where they'd be so scared they'd be pushing each other out of their way to get out of the room because it was so real, like what they heard. So yeah, that is all the stories I'm going to be telling you. Thank you to all my friends that told me stories and took time to type them out to me and just tell them to me, because there's some long ones. If you did tell me a story and I didn't get to it yet, I will definitely do a part 2 for you guys. And just to let you guys know, I'm still doing a part 2 of the telling my subscribers paranormal stories / reacting to them. So if you have one that you haven't told me yet in the comment section that you want me to tell, you still can comment on this video or my last one, and I might read it in a video coming up. I think that's it. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys on the flip side.